Today on the Point Blank Performance YouTube channel, we got a 2017 F-450 all the way from the state of Virginia. And guess what? We did not build this truck. This truck is here because of this. He questioned the video about Kyle Cannons. If you hadn't checked it out, check that video out here. F-350 with compounds on it made 650 rural horsepower. There's no way to fake that kind of power. Now this customer also has a compound system on his truck. It's a very similar build. And he said, hey man, his bullshit meter went off. Said, there's no way my truck makes that kind of power. It's slower now than it ever was. There's no way that can be possible. But okay, and guess what? It's here. That's what we're going over today. We're gonna dyno this truck. We're gonna figure out. But now let's talk about apples to apples. Kyle Cannon's truck over here, and we got Chad's truck here. The F-450 behind me has 430 gears. Kyle Cannon's had 373s. Awesome. Now let's talk about air. This truck, for the big compound system, has a 75 Borg-Warner turbocharger up top. Kyle Cannon's truck had a billet forced induction 76 millimeter turbocharger. That means we have one more millimeter over this truck behind us. Now let's talk about low pressure fuel system. Both trucks had a fast system on there. The truck behind me, Chad's truck, has an Exergy 10 mil stroker CP 4.2 pump. Perfect. We had a River City Diesel CP 4.2 stroker pump. So pretty much we're equal besides gears, and we have 1 millimeter over Chad's truck. All right, awesome. And guys, what we're gonna do is we got the truck strapped down to the dyno. We are now gonna load the same amount of fuel that we did to Kyle Cannon's truck. We wanna see this truck make power. I have every confidence in me that the truck will bust out over 600 rural horsepower. These things are phenomenal to drive. But guys, let's figure out if it can actually lay that power down. It's dyno time. So now let's take a look at the dyno graph. What was our max horsepower? 617 rural horsepower and 1,026 feet-pound of torque. This truck done awesome. Yeah, we could probably throw it on Steve's dyno. Might make 20 horsepower more, but we made 617. Where do we make that power at? I spun it all the way to 3,400. Our peak horsepower landed at 3,277 RPMs, and our peak torque came in at 3,000 RPMs. That's awesome. But what's more impressive is how fast I spun that truck. We did it in 4.791 seconds. Take a look at this graph. So this is what's most impressive to me. That truck busted out that pull in 4 seconds. All the way over from 2,200 RPMs all the way over here to 3,400 RPMs. It did that 617 rural horsepower. Last Friday, you guys saw Tyler's truck on the dyno, that Dodge. We busted out that pull in about 6 seconds, from like 2,400 to 3,100. A little bit slower. This thing's like a lightning bolt and it gets it done. But here's the big picture. Chad really wants to see that truck make 650 rural horsepower or 700. That means here, if it makes 650 on the dyno, it actually makes about 700 somewhere else. If it makes 700, it's actually laying down 750. So what modifications can we do to that F-450 to get the job done? So ultimately, how are we going to get this client up to 650 rural horsepower or 700? Personally, take 650, throw it out the door. With the gears in the truck, he's never going to feel that 30 extra rural horsepower. If we're going to do it, let's get it done. 700, 750 plus rural horsepower is the approach that I would take on doing this build. How would I do that? This is what I would do. I would take out the factory VGT turbocharger and I would upgrade to non-VGT, or you can stick with the VGT. That's perfectly fine. Now for the fueling of the truck. Don't stick with the stock injectors. They do need to be upgraded. You ain't got to go super big, but I do need more fuel to work with. We can do a 30 or we can do a 60. That way we've got room to grow for the future. Those combinations together, 700, 750 horsepower will be no big deal at all. Now the biggest thing that Chad brought to my attention was this. Hey man, I do not want my truck to spool slow. Okay, I got it. I bet you if I throw another 150 rural horsepower to the truck, I bet you that conversation will go away and it'll be all grins about what the is this? So guys, ultimately this. If you got an F-450, brought it in here to the shop, did 617 rural horsepower, would you be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna load my truck up, I'm happy about it, cool. Or would you be like, you know what? Let's get it done. 750 rural horsepower, I'm gonna drive the baddest F-450 in town. Drop a comment below. Make for sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next week here at Point Blank Performance.